Have you ever been looking for a simple, no surprises way to help your savings grow? You've probably come across the term fixed deposit. Well, today we're going to break down exactly what that is, how it works, and who it's really for. Let's get right into it. You know, we all think about saving, but sometimes all the options out there can feel, well, a little complicated. What if you just want a straightforward place for your money to grow safely without any wild ups and downs? That's the exact problem a fixed deposit is designed to solve. So here's our game plan for today. We'll start with the basics. What is an FD? Then we'll walk through its entire journey. After that, we'll cover a few keywords you'll want to know, explore why people even use them, and touch on one big thing to keep in mind. And of course, we'll wrap it all up with a super simple recap. First up, what exactly is it? All right, first things first, what are we actually talking about when we say fixed deposit? Let's get a really simple, clear definition on the table so we're all on the same page. Okay, so a fixed deposit, or FD as you'll often hear it called, is basically a straightforward deal you make with a bank. It goes like this. You give them a sum of money for a specific agreed upon amount of time. In return, the bank promises to give you back your original money plus a guaranteed extra reward. To make it even simpler, let's use an analogy. Imagine you're baking a cake. Your money is the batter. You put that batter into the bank oven for a set amount of time, let's say a year. Now, the most important rule is you can't open the oven while it's baking. You just have to let it do its thing. When the timer finally goes off, you get your cake back. But here's the cool part. It's a little bigger. That extra slice you get, that's your reward. So how does this whole process play out, from start to finish? Let's walk through the simple 4-step journey of a fixed deposit. It's actually really straightforward. First, you make your deposit, that's the lump sum of money. Then you wait. This is that baking period we talked about where you agree not to touch the money at all. While you're waiting, your money starts to grow, earning that reward we mentioned earlier. And finally, the deposit reaches what's called maturity. That's the finish line. It's when you get your original money back plus all the rewards it earned along the way. Now, every topic has its own special lingo, but don't worry. The terms for fixed deposits are super easy to grasp. Let's quickly go over the 4 most important words you're going to hear. The first one is the deposit amount, which is also called the principal. This is just the money you start with. It's the batter for your cake, remember? It's the foundation for everything that comes next. Next up, we have the time period, or tenure. This was just the baking time you agree to right at the beginning, and it's pretty flexible. You can choose a really short period, like just a few months, or a much longer one, like several years. It all depends on your goal. The third term is interest. This is your reward. It's that extra piece of cake you get at the end. Now, what makes the interest in an FD so special is that the rate is fixed from day one. You know exactly, down to the penny, how much your money is going to earn. And that gives it its most important quality, predictability. And finally, we have maturity. This is the big day. It's when the timer goes off. Your tenure is complete, and the bank gives you back your original deposit amount plus all the interest it's earned. It's the successful end of the whole journey. Okay, so we know what an FD is and we know how the process works. But here's the real question. Why would someone choose to use one? Let's look at the main reasons that make them so attractive for certain kinds of savers. Fixed deposits tend to be a really good fit for specific types of people. They're fantastic for anyone who values safety and predictability more than anything else. So if you're saving for a goal that's coming up soon, like a vacation or a down payment on a car, and you just can't afford to take any risks with that money, an FD can be a great option. Retirees also find them useful for creating a reliable source of income. The main advantages really boil down to 4 key things. First, safety, because your money isn't bouncing around with the ups and downs of the market. Second, predictability, because that return is locked in and guaranteed. No surprises. Third, simplicity. They are incredibly easy to understand and set up. And finally, discipline. Locking your money away for a bit really helps you resist that temptation to just spend it. Now, of course, no financial tool is perfect for every single person or situation. When it comes to fixed deposits, there is one very, very important trade-off that you need to understand before you even consider one. So here it is, the core trade-off of a fixed deposit. Think of it like a seesaw. On one side, you have that wonderful, predictable safety. Your money is protected, and it grows at a guaranteed rate. But what's on the other side of the seesaw? Limited access. Your money is locked in for that entire time period. And if you need to get it out early, well, there's usually a penalty for that. So that's the fundamental deal you're making. You're trading flexibility for security. We've covered a fair bit of ground, so let's just boil everything we've talked about down to one simple, memorable takeaway.
If you remember just one thing from this entire explainer, let it be this. A fixed deposit is, at its heart, a simple promise. You agree to let a bank hold on to your money for a set amount of time, and in return, they promise to give it back to you with a fixed, guaranteed reward. It really is as simple as that.
So that's the basic idea behind a fixed deposit. It's a tool that's built on a foundation of safety and predictability. And that just leaves us with a final question for you to think about. Now that you know how this simple tool works, what kind of future goal in your own life might it be a good match for?